The drums echoed through the dusty village courtyard, their rhythm drowning out Aisha's quiet sobs. She sat in a red bridal dress that felt heavier than her heart. Gold jewelry clinked on her wrists and neck, but it all felt like chains. She was only 18. The man she was marrying, Imran, was 40, twice her age, with streaks of silver in his beard and eyes that carried years of silence. Her parents said it was a blessing. "He is a good man, Aisha," her father had said. "He will protect you, give you a home, and never let you suffer." But she didn't want protection. She wanted freedom, college, dreams, life. As the wedding vows were spoken, Aisha barely looked up. She whispered the words because she had to. And when the celebrations ended, she was driven to a house that wasn't hers, to a man who didn't know her. Imran didn't speak much on their first night. He simply set a tray of food in front of her and said quietly, "You don't have to be afraid. I know this marriage wasn't your choice." She blinked in surprise. She had expected dominance, commands, maybe even anger. Instead, he turned to leave the room, saying, "Eat if you can, rest if you can't. This room is yours now." Aisha spent the night awake, staring at the ceiling. She couldn't understand him. He was supposed to be her husband, but he behaved like a guardian. In the days that followed, he never touched her without consent, never raised his voice, never forced her to behave like a wife. Instead, he asked her simple things. "What books do you like? Would you like to study again? Do you want me to register you for college in the city?" No one had ever asked her what she wanted before. Imran was a farmer, quiet and steady. His house was surrounded by green fields that smelled of rain and hope. Aisha started spending mornings in the garden, watering flowers, escaping her thoughts. Sometimes she'd see him fixing a fence, his hands rough but careful, his voice soft when he greeted her. Once, she asked, "Why did you agree to marry me if you knew I didn't want it?" He looked at her for a long time before replying, "Because your father was my friend. He begged me to protect you. I said yes, not to own you, but to keep you safe until you're ready to live your life the way you choose." That night, Aisha cried for the first time, not out of fear, but from the kindness she never expected. 6 months later, Imran brought home an envelope. Inside were admission papers for a college in the city. "You wanted to study English literature, right?" he said with a shy smile. "Classes start next month. I'll drive you there every morning." Aisha couldn't believe it. He was letting her study, something even her father had refused. In the city, people whispered. They saw her old husband drop her off at college and assumed terrible things. Some classmates sneered, "You're wasting his money." But Aisha ignored them. She knew what they didn't. Imran's heart was purer than any young man's charm. Slowly, she began to open up to him. She'd tell him about her classes, her favorite poems, and even laugh at his awkward attempts to understand Shakespeare. He listened, always. One rainy evening, as they drove back home, the car skidded on the slippery road. Imran swerved to protect her side, and the vehicle crashed into a tree. When Aisha woke in the hospital, her head bandaged, the first thing she saw was Imran's hand holding hers. His arm was in a cast, face bruised, but his eyes were warm. "You're safe," he whispered. "That's all that matters." Tears rolled down her cheeks. She realized then, it wasn't obligation that made him care. It was love. Months passed. Aisha finished her degree, became a teacher in the same village school where she had once studied. The children adored her, and she often saw Imran waiting by the gate, smiling proudly as the kids called her Miss Aisha. One evening, she brought him tea in the garden, the sunset painting everything gold. "Imran," she said softly, "you've given me freedom, education, and respect. But there's one thing I never gave you." He looked puzzled. "What's that?" She smiled shyly. "Love." Imran froze. "Aisha." She stepped closer and took his hand. "You never forced me to be your wife. You let me become your friend first. Now, I want to be your wife, by choice." For the first time, she saw tears in his eyes. He didn't say anything, just pulled her into a gentle embrace, one filled with gratitude and quiet joy. The next few years were a tapestry of peace. Aisha and Imran became partners in every sense. She helped him modernize the farm, he supported her school projects. Their home was filled with laughter, books, and the scent of blooming jasmine. When their first child was born, a daughter, Aisha named her Rema, meaning mercy, because that was what Imran had shown her from the beginning. 10 years later, Imran passed away quietly in his sleep. Aisha found a letter on his bedside table. In it, he wrote, "Greater than, you were never my obligation, Aisha. You were my blessing. I married you not to save you, but because you taught me what love truly means. If you ever doubt your worth, look at the life you built. You were my sunrise after a long night." Her tears fell onto the paper, but her heart was full. Years later, Aisha became the principal of the village school. She started a scholarship for girls forced into early marriage, calling it the Imran Foundation. When people asked why, she would smile and say, "Because once, a man society called too old, taught me the purest form of love, kindness without conditions. And when the wind blew through the fields, she felt him there still, his laughter in the rustle of leaves, his love in every sunrise." Aisha often told her daughter, "Love isn't about age, wealth, or appearances. It's about respect, patience, and kindness." Rema would listen wide-eyed and say, "Mama, do you miss him?" Aisha would smile softly, "Every day, but when someone truly loves you, they never leave. They live in everything you do." And that was true, because even though her marriage had begun as a cage, it became the wings that taught her how to fly.